Alright, another round of 64 matchup here. This time we've got Greed is Feed taking on The Last of Us. The Last of Us, obviously a team you probably recognize, certainly some players with some history in the competitive scene, Diglett, Creams, and What You Got, all members at one point of reputable teams. I think Fuzzy Sloth has been on some stuff, Drents, I don't know. But certainly the favorite, I think, in this matchup, going up against a team on the Legion side that's not too well known. But we'll see how they do here. And certainly upsets are always possible.
Rhapsody.
Bans are out. Bensington, Parasite, Kraken, and Empath being removed from the pool, so nothing crazy going on there. And picks are going super fast here, so since there's nothing crazy, let's just go straight over it and talk about the picks. Kronos and Rhapsody, the first two selections here for the Legion side. Real good picks. Obviously Rhapsody generally considered the best support in the game. Kronos arguably the best suicide. It's usually between him and Bensington as to who's actually the best, and since Bensington is out of the pool, Kronos being picked up makes a lot of sense. So, well selected there. We'll see who they follow that up with, but so far they're off to a really good start. A little bit obvious, I think, where the lanes are supposed to go at this point, although I guess you could run Kronos as a short lane carry, but that seems a little unlikely. But no matter what, these are two good heroes that do very well together. Ophelia would be the third pick, so going up against the Hellborn Jungle Tempest with their own Ophelia. Polywog, love it, love the Polywog. Hellborn they're kind of going to push hard here. Tempest, Keeper of the Forest, and Polywog Priest, all extremely hard push heroes, and very good team fighters. They don't have any damage, really, but they've got that. They've also got CC out the ass with Tempest, Keeper, and Polywog, obviously all providing a fair degree of that. So we'll see what the Hellborn chooses to do here with this lineup, but it's pretty interesting. I suspect we might see the return of the Suicide Keeper of the Forest. Obviously, that's a role that hero has not played in several months now. It's been a long time since we've consistently seen a Keeper go Suicide. And it used to be Keeper-Tempest combination basically meant auto-win, so perhaps that's still the case. I think for The Last of Us, they are generally favored, so I'm not sure if they, how much it's going to be due to the hero picks and how much is going to be due to the fact that they're just generally more skilled in the Legion side, I assume. I don't know. But I assume. And we'll see. But so far, I think the Legion side actually has a better draft, certainly a more competitive draft, and perhaps Hellborn are just like, yeah, let's play something, let's get this over quickly because we think that we're that much better than they are, and let's just not waste too much time. But bans are out. Speaking of not wasting too much time, a lot of extra time left. And Soul Reaper, Demented Shaman, and Belphegor will be removed by the Legion side, so heavy push heroes that would obviously significantly complement the Hellborn team, and they're just going awesome push. And clearly the Legion side has recognized that, and they're trying to remove some of that capability. Hellborn banning out Master of Arms, Aluna, and Magnus, so removing a couple of supports as well as the secondary Initiator. A little interesting there, especially because they already have the Rhapsody Ophelia, so they're probably not looking for a support hero. Magnus makes more sense as a ban, but instead they will go for Hag Bubbles as their last two picks, so a little bit of counter push there, but Jesus, the Hellborn has so much push. All these minions, Warbeast, Keeper of the Forest, Tempest, obviously major push heroes. Polywog Breach with the Wars will be able to help take down towers. Torture is the soft pick here, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Obviously one of the heavier push supports. Could someone Polywog as Priest as a support and go for a more farmer-oriented push hero, as I assume that's what they're going to be doing. Wild Soul still on the board, that's definitely an option. Torture, like I said, a solid decision. Not too much left in terms of heavy push. And it will be the Torturer, so that's going to be farming Polywog Priest, which is just fine. And it's pretty intense how quickly they're going to be able to kill towers here. I suspect we're going to see group ups from the Hellborn side very quickly, and we'll see if the Legion have enough anti-push to deal with that. My suspicion is that they don't. Rhapsody and Bubbles will help out quite a bit with the Shell Surf and Dance Floor. Hag has to get a little too close for the
Let's get it on.
Hag has to be a little too close for the Sonar Screen, but she might be able to do some damage to those minions. The issue is just that they're going to keep coming, and I'm not sure without concerted efforts they'll be able to do much. Obviously, the Master of Arms ban, I guess that's where their bans make sense. Master of Arms, Aluna, and Magnus trying to remove the anti-push heroes. Not sure that Master would fit this lineup here. Obviously, you could still run him as a farmer, but well done, I guess, there. And yeah, This will be interesting. I think this is one of the few times we've seen a more highly rated competitive team going up against a lesser known team that just sort of throws everything at them. It's usually a fairly competitive lineup. They'll try some new stuff sometimes, but this is just weird. As you know, Keeper we don't see too much. Polywog Priest we almost never see. And War Beast we don't see too much either, considering how popular he used to be. He used to be one of our powerful heroes in the game, and recently, for whatever reason, War Beast just is not being picked up. So we'll see how things go for the Hellborn side and for the Legion side as well. No surprise. Actually, it is a surprise here. His Bubbles is going top. Looks like Kronos is going to be heading bottom, so they're looking to run the farming Kronos here, which is a little interesting. Not really a terrible decision, certainly viable. Hag will head middle. I'm not sure if I like this so much. I think I probably would have suicided the Kronos just because he is a little bit better in that role. Have Hag play. Oh, no, you can't really because you need both Hag and Bubbles to be solo laners. So, yeah, this is the right thing. Never mind. I'm just stupid. Yeah, this is definitely the right decision. Bubbles better suicide than Hag. Hag is showing a mid-initiator, and Kronos is the only hero that Rhapsody can pair with that she won't take too many levels from and have it be a major issue. She could also just help Ophelia jungle. That could also work. Will be interesting. So they're going to block this left hard camp here, but not the pull on Bubbles' part. And he is also going to ward here, but obviously Drents has already placed a ward of sight, so they pretty much know that's there, and they should be able to deward it relatively early. We'll see how quickly Dorcher gets on that. Up top, it's going to be Warbeast in the short lane. Pretty interesting. Not a huge surprise. Creams of the Keeper of the Forest is playing the suicide role, and he will be dragging the creep wave back here to give himself some lane control. And in the middle, it's going to be the Polywog Priest up against Hag as a solo. So this should be a relatively even matchup. I favor Hag a little bit just because she's got the burst damage and Hag doesn't. Poly's CC tools are really nice for other people to do damage, but he doesn't actually do that much himself. And as a result, I suspect he won't be able to kill this Hag without some pretty serious misplays on her part, especially considering she has the blink. But Hag could definitely kill the Polywog Priest if he overextends or does something in error. Top lane Bubbles in the suicide actually getting boxed out really effectively here by Torture. Not a surprise, Torture one of the better zoning supports in the game. And as a result, Warbeast should have pretty much total free farm up here in this short lane. Bottom lane Keeper of the Forest getting some lane control and forcing the wave under the tower will get himself some CS. And Kronos obviously going to have a bit more of an issue getting creep kills as a result of Keeper's continuous pulling of the wave back. He'll take some harassment, of course, but the typical Keeper, you know, he's just super tanky, and it's really hard to force him out of lane. Jungle, meanwhile, Tempest already off to a pretty solid start here. What you got at 240 gold per minute compared to Ophelia at 215, so neither of them doing too bad at all, but Tempest a little further ahead, and that's not super surprising. Tempest, one of the better jungle farmers in the game, and especially with the new changes to the woods and to Ophelia a little bit, as Alchemist spawns down kills or creeps. Not really the biggest deal, but I guess it could matter, maybe. Tempest farming a little bit faster, not a huge surprise. Top lane Torture will be doing some pulling here. Get lane control back, make sure they're always sitting under their tower. Definitely a good idea, and this will obviously get him some nice solo experience and possibly farm as well. Always good to get some gold as a support. So, bottom lane, Keeper having a pretty good time actually down here. Creams is at 182 gold per minute compared to Kronos at 195, so obviously when your Suicide is farming almost as well as the short laner, and really as well as the short laner at this point, even better, then you're probably off to a pretty solid start. Perhaps he will in fact leave the lane here. Possibly looking to set up a gank on middle. And we'll see. Yep, lane's gonna be pushed up here. There's the Sonar Scream. Staccatos? Yep, there's this. This is very possibly gonna be first blood. A couple auto attacks. And there's the Hex, but nice. Blink forward. Oh god, bottle. Oh man, that's painful. Well played by Fuzzy Sloth. He does get the return kill, but Or Rhapsody gets the return kill, but excellently played there with the bottle charges and the regen rune right at the right time. So, gank from Rhapsody is successful in that they killed Polly, but more accurately not successful because they gave up the bloodlust as opposed to actually getting it. So, oh well. But really, that was a really great play from Polly, I think. And it looks like Rhapsody's kind of hanging out here in this middle lane, which I'm not a huge fan of, because Hag needs her levels, yeah. So Rhapsody hopefully gonna leave. I mean, if you don't want to be bottom, which is fine, then you can help off jungle, you can sack camps and stuff like that. But you probably should be bottom. I don't know. I'm feeling like Keeper of the Forest could use some zoning here. Illusions from Ophelia gonna come in. She is only level 3, and they're not gonna do too much damage here. Keeper's just gonna walk away through the woods. He does have a bottle of his own, so 2 bottles here on the Hellborn side, just the 1 on Legion in Hag's possession. Top lane is pushed into the tower, and here comes the Glyph out of the Warbeast and the Wolves and the Impalement, so obviously starting to pressure towers already. And I think this is going to be a consistent theme. They're off to the side, there's the Hex, and the tongue-tied on top of Ophelia, and she's just dead. So, Kronos, not too much he could do to try to save her. Off to the side here, Rhapsody with an Ophelia Illusion. But not too much they can do because he can just run back toward his wards. It's too bad. Keeper might be setting up to try to go for a kill here, because once he gets his root, he might be able to take out this Kronos if he gets him low enough first. Rhapsody coming in back here, and Keeper will back off. There's a Nature's Veil going off, but a nice Rev Ward gets dropped. He is level 6 though, so he can drop the root. He's probably going to have to. Yep, there it is. Defensive root, but allows him to get away. And it's a good thing Kronos was not 6, otherwise that would have been returned on with a bubble, and probably Keeper's dead. So the level advantage there, helping him out pretty significantly. Bit of an awkward time for Rhapsody to gank. They probably should have waited a second until Kronos hit 6, because he couldn't be that far away. There's the Impalement going off. Sorcerer continuing to try to zone this bubbles, but gets back under the tower with the Shell Surf, and he'll be fine. Pause going out. I don't think I turned that on. Skip pause. So, there we go. Occasionally forget, but obviously better to just do it than to sit through the pause. Keeper taking some ancients. Perhaps just getting stole at least 1. Oh, actually, in the middle lane, we got a kill on Polywog. The Bat Blast missed, but just enough with the Staccato Stun, so really, really nice time for Rhapsody to be there. And Fuzzy Sloth diving real deep for that wretched Hag, but not paying off. Bottom lane Keeper actually getting some CS with his minions. I love the cactuses. Tempest finally going to join this top lane as he is level 7, and this is probably going to be a pretty easy push down the top tower considering all the minions. Shellsurf goes out trying to do some harass here, but it's not going to make a difference. This is a dead tower.
Destroyed a Legion tower.
And obviously with the Ring of Sorcery there, they can just keep this push going for a long time, because one of the bigger issues that Torture and Warbeast have when it comes to maintaining their push, of course, is the mana. And secondary tower now going to be in some danger. Tempest Elementals will despawn here in a second, but he can just make some more. So they're probably going to let this creep wave die and then push it back so it's not sitting under the tower. Great some more minions. There we go. Off to the side, Rhapsody and Torture will check each other out. Meanwhile, over here, Wretched Hag dies once again. Getting hexed. There's the wards and the tongue-tied. And the root actually goes out as well. So a couple ults get dropped, but they do get the kill on Hag, so that's pretty much worth it. Elementals will split here, and this is probably going to be another dead tower, as... what can they do? Rhapsody can come up here. So both take the chain reactions, and the ultimate will be stopped by the staccato stuns and the shell surf away, but Warbeast is an ulti for him. Actually, will just chase him down. Oh my god, the wolf dies. He definitely had that kill if he continued to go for it, so interesting that he chose to back off. Perhaps not knowing if there is TP support coming in, but secondary tower gets taken out top lane. Not a huge surprise once again, given the composition of the Hellborn lineup. And I'm guessing we're going to see mid now. As everybody's rotating, and this is going to turn into a mid tower push. Not too low, but with the minions available as well as the Torture Repellment, it's not going to last very long. And so it begins. So scream going off there, gonna help hurt one of these wolves. Ophelia's here, they're gonna try to do something on Warbeast. His ult's down as well, so he's gonna take the Bat Blast in the face. Staccatos are there, Bubble goes off, and Warbeast's gonna be here. Is totally dead. Tempest also taking a bunch of damage. That's 2 kills. Morphear goes on to Hag, and she's gonna be okay. Is able to walk away. New Earth's Blessing also helping to keep everybody nice. So a couple of solid kills there as the Chronos bubble comes out and allows them to clean up on both Warbeast and Tempest, stopping the push pretty effectively as well. And we'll see if they actually choose to continue this. We'll port bottom as Keeper is pressuring this bot tower a little bit, so your Chronos will be here to do some stuff. Actually, Alchemist Bones are picked up on Keeper, so that's got to be entirely because of the Ophelia change. Because there's really no great reason to pick up Alchemist Bones on Keeper of the Forest in general, and especially in this. We're already 10 minutes in, the timing's not really there. And Keeper of the Forest isn't typically a hero that picks up an Alchemy Bones. Warbeast's going to jump in here with the ultimate on top of the root, and Chronos is in a lot of trouble. Is he going to be able to get away? Nope. Actually, a Diffusal Blade. No, that was Mana Burn from Puzzle Box on Warbeast. It was like Nullfire, not Diffusal, but I was very surprised. Meanwhile, over here, we are going to get another kill onto Rhapsody as she gets caught by Torture. And Polywog Priest, Chain Reactions hits, and that's going to be just too much damage from the Impalement. So she will drop. Bot tower is going to get heavily pressured here and pretty easily killed.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
Hag, meanwhile, making her way off to the side. Doesn't want to get caught by Poly and Torture. And it looks like this bottom push very well may continue. Keeper looking for something to use his Alchemist Bones on, I suspect. Middle lane Polywards are up. Probably looking for more of a buffer in terms of creeps to make sure they don't get killed on this middle lane, but in the meantime, Warbeast and Tempest continuing to push the bottom lane as they're just like, whatever. Off to the side here, Torture in a lot of trouble, will actually follow the Ophelia minions, as a bit unfortunate, but not the biggest deal. Bottom lane, they're also getting quite a bunch of initiation here. Kelfield goes down onto Tempest, does not have the ultimate. Bubble goes onto 2. Tempest is definitely going to fall here, but Bubbles is also going to drop to the minions as they take a 1-for-1. Warbeast trying to get away here. He might actually live, especially with the help coming in here from Polywog Priest. Tongue-tied does not go off somehow. Interesting. As Rhapsody's getting chased down here by Warbeast, probably going to die thanks to the minions.
Too easy.
Chronos is next on the list. We'll see if he's able to survive. Wretched Hag is off to the side here and going to be just fine. Also getting some aggression in the jungle, and they're going to continue this bottom push once again. Ophelia's here taking a bunch of minion damage. As they the tower pressure here is ridiculous. So 7-6 hero kills. Now, The Last of Us are not super ahead in terms of the hero kill score. They're really far ahead in gold and fairly far ahead in experience, just because of these towers that continually are pressuring. But they're not doing all that well in terms of pure I kill you, you kill me type stuff. Mid lane will be once again pretty heavily pressured here, but Legion are going to mount a defense. Kronos making his way over. Tempest Elementals expire. Shell Surf there, trying to do some stuff along with Rhapsody Ultimate. Sonar Scream once again trying to stop this push so much. And they're doing a fairly effective job of it. As the Hellborn aren't really interested in committing their actual heroes, they're looking to just send in a whole bunch of minions. And it's not proving particularly effective as a push. I think really their better option is the split push, because they have so many push-oriented heroes that they can effectively push a couple of lanes, and the Legion can't respond to 2. They can respond to 1. They have enough anti-push to stop 1 push. I don't think they have enough to stop 2. So, we're going to see Keeper of the Forest headed bottom, and perhaps he'll look to pressure this bot secondary tower. The rest of his team takes out middle. Ophelia here looking to do a little bit of jungling, but Polywog Priest not having much of it. Minotaur Stomp will not hit. As Drent Sun Torture just barely able to get out. So now we have Keeper of the Forest in the bottom lane pushing down this bot secondary tower, and we're going to see a response here from the Legion side as Hag, Kronos, and Pebbles are all headed over to try to do something about it. But he's just going to leave. And he actually doesn't have enough mana for the Nature's Veil, so it's a bit of an issue, but distraction clearly successful as Keeper is getting chased down here. And actually they deny the bot tower, but mid tower also going to be heavily pressured, so that's exactly what I was looking for, was get the distraction going, and all of a sudden they take 2 towers instead of none. Words get dropped here on the base tower, not a huge surprise. And this thing is falling quick. Polywog Wards are getting killed, but not after doing a considerable amount of damage to this tower. Chain reactions go down. Actually do hit Rhapsody, but not a huge deal. Shell Surf helping out a little bit. Helmet goes down as well. That's where one Polywog Ward is still there, looking for the bubble. Actually catches it onto 3. Tempest and Warbeast and Polywog also getting caught. Gelfield onto 2, but a Tempest Ultimate being returned on Kronos and both Hag. We're going to see if they have enough damage to turn this. It's not. What you got in the Tempest is going to fall. Warbeast running away in LT form. Drent's going to fall as Torture not quite fast enough to get away. Kronos is trying to chase down this Polywog Priest here. He's also going to drop thanks to Staccato Stuns. And Warbeast's LT form actually wears off here, so he might not be in so much safety. And that's Shell Surf actually can catch with the Song and See. He's a couple of auto attacks, and that's a death, so ends up being a 4 for nothing. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Forest in the bottom lane is pushing the tower, but he's taking damage, and he's going to have to get real careful about how he does this, especially because Ophelia's wandering over. He's going to have to drop the Nature's Veil. Stun goes down. They might still see him. Yeah, he's not actually invisible. So a good push there, but they end up losing 4 heroes, and perhaps not worth it. It's going to take a 10-7 hero kill lead on the Legion side. And really all the gold advantage is towers. It's 8,500 gold, which is a lot, but it's just the towers. As they actually have a slight experience lead on the Legion side. Meanwhile, Antimas on the bubbles will get killed by Polywog Priest. As he got a little bit creep blocked, but oh well. So, this mid tower, just actually in deny range. Not a surprise they're not denying it, but they will instead go for the Kongor, feeling like last time maybe the push was pretty effective, but I'd like to have a token. The minions trying to get to Kongor. So this is going to be a pretty easy Kongor kill for the Hellborn side. And token, I guess, going to Warbeast? He's not here. It's It's going to be Polywog, yeah. So. It was going to be Polywog. War Beast not there, so they figured, hey, let's get the Poly. Jump away from Kronos, obviously with the ward they see everything. Polywog wards are up once again, so this should be pretty easy to take down this middle tower and very possibly the racks. With the token available, they also have quite a lot of potential to just dive and be crazy. Four heroes converging here on the middle lane. Cream's in the jungle once again, as he might look to push down the spot. And Drent's counter warding. There go the Polywog wards, and that's a dead tower. Now they're going to focus the racks. Bubble going to hit on the 4 actually here, as Warbeak's the only one knocked out. Bash Blast also hits on the 4. Kelpfield is on everybody as well. Root goes down there, but a nice Tempest ultimate, catching 4 heroes. Polywog wards ignore a ton of damage. 2 heroes dead ahead, and Rhapsody ultimate taking a long time to get out, but actually does finally get there. She's still going to drop. Bubbles also dies. Buyback here on Hag, but Ophelia's dead as well. Ends up being Genocide with the buyback. And we'll see if Hag can't do anything here.
A Legion barracks has been destroyed.
So, that's it. It's mid racks down, and this game probably isn't going to last too much longer. Hag perhaps need a chase here. Won't actually get caught.
A Hellborn tower.
But a successful push, no doubt, with the Genocide is a huge Tempest ultimate too, catching 4 heroes. And they didn't actually even focus the Polywog wards on the heroes inside the Tempest ultimate. They just have so much damage from the minions, from the various AoEs and such, that they were able to basically kill everything. Obviously, Polywog wards do some splash damage, so inside a Tempest ultimate, that can prove extremely effective. Yeah, that's a thing. Nearly 400 gold per minute on everybody except for Torture. And it's not looking too good for this Legion side. So they've lost mid-racks here at 20 minutes into the game, and it would not be surprising to see the Hellborn take a second set relatively soon. Warbeast already pushing top. Our CiC team has sort of retreated to the jungle here, perhaps looking for the next tier of items. Tempest does have 2,500 gold saved up, so we'll see if he goes for an immediate Trunken Head. That's my guess. Polywog Priest probably looking for a Portal Key, has enough money for it, but perhaps not having the inventory slot. And just waiting for that token to expire, I would imagine. Yeah, a minute and a half left. It will be a Portal Key, and he will in fact drop the TP scroll for it. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Forest went for a Rune Cleaver, so a bit interesting. Meanwhile, up here, Hag will get caught by the Morph and the Warbeast ultimate, plus the Tongue Tie, and she's just totally dead. That's why you gotta love the CC. That's why I think this hero is viable. That CC is so damn effective, especially to a lot of the escape-oriented heroes that you see nowadays. Benzington, Kronos, Hag, Bubbles. Good luck getting away when you're hexed and tongue-tied, bitches. Meanwhile, off to the side here, we're going to see jump on once again on Polywog Priest. Root will catch onto 2. Kronos taking a whole bunch of damage here. Will drop immediately. Nice Bat Blast hitting a whole bunch, but it's not going to be enough to save Ophelia and a Bubbles, so we've only got Rhapsody. Nice buyback here from Kronos. We'll actually catch everybody in this bubble. Rhapsody Dance 4 goes out as well. Drent's going to fall on Torture. Token gets taken by Polywog Priest. And he's going to come right back up, though, and see if he can actually do any damage here. Double damage on Keeper of the Forest. Trying to get here and pound some autos in. Buzzes off does drop, but Kronos perhaps in some trouble. There you go with the Glacial Blast, helping to finish him off. Wretched Hag trying to get away now. And Rhapsody will also be able to retreat to the well. But top tower falls. Polywog Priest is going to start working on these racks with his wards. And that's going to be a second set dead. So now we're going to have Super Creep streaming in from 2 locations. Obviously the bottom is exposed as well, considering the outer towers have been destroyed. Shell Surf here from Bubbles, just going to do some harass damage on the creeps, and there's actually hit Tempest. So, here we are at the last bastion of hope for the Legion side. Bottom lane, the only one that has not been successfully pushed in. And I suspect it will not be that way for much longer. Bottom lane here going to be pushed in, as once again Hellborn are sticking to their MO. Notable that up top here we do have Keeper of the Forest still in the woods, so it's only a 4-person push right now. Caldavar wards get dropped once again, and they're going to try to clean them up as quickly as possible, but it's still going to be a lot of damage on this top tower. Chain reactions helping to stop them from killing the wards, but not going to eventually be enough to take this tower. Jump in here from Cronus only hits 2 though, the Tempest and the Torture, and Hag off to the side will get a back blast on both of them with the Kelp Field, but over here Warby's doing a lot of damage to Bubbles. Nice ultimate from both Tempest and Rhapsody. Bubbles going to fall first, then Rhapsody and Wolfelia. Cronus also going to drop, and Hag the only one left blinking away trying to live here. It's probably not going to happen. There's the more from Polywog Priest, does not have the tongue tied, but the chain reactions are there. The last auto attacks will be enough, and
Genocide!
this is going to be a bot lane push and a game winning
Hellborn have destroyed a Legion
push.
tower.
So that's Mega Creeps, and we might actually see this end the traditional way. So wow, Creams here getting real low,
Destroyed a Legion tower.
like 40 health.
Defeat.
Alright, so that's the game. Obviously this strat from the Hellborn, very powerful with the heavy push, and the Legion side just not having nearly enough anti-push to be able to deal with it. And then of course you have to consider the fact that the last of us here with a little bit more recognizable names and perhaps some players with more competitive experience, so a bit of an advantage there as well. But regardless, Legion did hold out for quite a while here, 25 minutes, considering the quality of the Hellborn side as well as the lineup they picked. It was very aggressive, especially early on. Pretty solid hold for them, so well played to both teams, and the last of us will move on to the round of 32.